Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In this week's episode, we head to a small neighborhood called Ōtsuka. Here we gorge ourselves on out-of-this-world onigiri, explore the local shopping street, and visit a shrine before checking out Tokyo's last remaining tram line. If you enjoy the video, please give it a like, it really helps the channel grow. And if you're new here, hit that subscribe button and the little notification bell so you don't miss any future episodes. Let's go. It's the 1st of November and it's my last work day or work night before vacation starts, so I'm super excited. And we're just heading out for the day. It's just about noon, and one of the things we were a bit concerned about was that there was supposed to be elevator service going on at our building, which meant we would have had to go down 8 floors of stairs, and they're not like inside stairs, they're sort of like fire escape stairs. A little bit better than that, but still a little bit risky for the Nicole. But so we went to the elevator, we pushed the button, and we were like, it's not coming. It wasn't coming up, and oh man, we're gonna have to take the stairs. And then eventually it started counting up. And so we're like, oh, okay, they must be done their work. And we got in the elevator, and we're standing there, and we realized they had added this TV screen. So they put a TV screen in the elevator with a little camera so you can see, you know, in the elevator someone's probably watching it or can watch it. And then there's the weather, which is great. And then we get down to the bottom when the doors open, and then there's 2 maintenance guys standing there looking slightly annoyed at the fact that we called up their elevator on the day they had scheduled it to be worked on, but they didn't seem too bothered. They have really cute little vehicles for driving around to do their elevator service work. Not what I would have expected at all. Pretty crazy. So we're just heading out for another afternoon of exploring a local neighborhood. We'll tell you all about it when we get there. We made it out to our neighborhood for our day of exploration, or our afternoon of exploration. And this is Ōtsuka. Ōtsuka. This is a little neighborhood really close to our home, really close to Ikebukuro Station. It was less than a 10-minute trip on the Yamanote line.
Just one stop from our beloved Ikebukuro.
Yeah, and we did that because we were short on time today. We could have walked it in about 35 minutes.
I think a good reason that we took the train was because you were looking really rough this morning.
I was not doing so well. Last night was a very long night.
Like 3:30 you're up to.
3:30, yeah, and then I woke up kind of early this morning. Luckily I got back to sleep, but yeah, I was just thinking we would stay home today. But I'm glad I pushed myself out because it's a beautiful day out.
It's not an indoor day. The sky is blue, the sun is shining,
yeah, the weather has definitely turned for us, which is great. So this little neighborhood has a few key things to come check out. There's a shrine to come check out here. There's a shopping arcade or street, and there's also something that can only be found in this little neighborhood, and we're going to check that out a little later. As always, it seems our first order of business for the day is lunch, and we have a spot in mind, very specific spot. So we've just gotten out of the station and we're heading there now. This is a shop that I've learned about many years ago, and I've been dying to go ever since. This is a shop that specializes in onigiris, rice balls, and they have like over 50 varieties. They use specialty rice from Niigata, and there's usually always a line, and today is no exception. I'm staring at it across the street here. So let's get over there and get into line, and hopefully it doesn't take too long before we have onigiri in our hands.
I saw something on the internet. There was 33 reviews about this one onigiri. I don't know what it is, but I went ahead and ordered it. When I ordered it, she made a face, and then she made sure to tell me that this onigiri, one onigiri pretty much cost the same as an entire set.
Of 3 onigiris.
Of 3 onigiris. So I was like, And I was like, yes, I still want it. So wish me luck.
Yeah, I'm a little bit afraid because these onigiris are huge, and all the reviews tell you that, but I had to order 3 because I just wanted to try different flavors and different fillings. So probably gonna be really stuffed after this meal, but it looks really good. We got amazing seats, eh?
We did.
We can watch her making the rice balls, and she works so quickly pulling rice out of her huge rice cooker, and then she has a mold that helps her sort of form the start of the rice balls.
I love the mold. It's this old-fashioned mold that's been around since donkey's years.
Yeah, and then she quickly like throws in all the toppings, tops it with more rice, and then forms them into the traditional onigiri triangle, and then wraps them in seaweed. So we've got our order in. Hopefully it comes soon. I'm really hungry. We both opted for the 3 onigiri set meal, not because we need this much food, but because there were so many interesting choices on the menu. Let's dig in and give them a try. First up is the tuna and mayo. They are massive, they're really hot, and the seaweed gets a little bit soft because the rice is so warm and moist. I really like the warm rice. Most of the onigiris you've been eating have been cold, but this is fresh rice right out of the rice cooker. That makes a huge difference. The top, like the flavors of the fillings are a lot stronger because of that, I think. It brings them out a lot better. And the rice quality is amazing. They use special rice from Niigata prefecture here.
I also saw a few reviews online saying that the toppings were stingy. I am not finding that case at all. My onigiri is overflowing with stuffing and good stuffing. Ignore that review.
Yeah. So the tuna and mayo is very good.
Salty egg yolk. So creamy. She has a little tub, a plastic tub in front of her, and it's full of egg yolks that are somehow retaining their shape. I don't know how that's happening, but she's able to pick them up and move them around, and they don't fall apart. And she jammed 2 of them in my onigiri.
Really, 2 of them?
2 of them, and then she put a little, somehow, a dollop of it on top. And it's such a creamy, salty, nice mouthfeel.
Yeah, you're giving me onigiri regrets. Although mine have been really good so far. So there's just too many good flavors here to try. Next up for me is going to be the beef and miso. I love how they put a little dollop of the filling on the rice ball so you know which is which. Beef has like a real kind of roasted flavor to it. And there's a bit of spice in here. And then the sweetness from the miso kind of balances out the spice, so it's not too overwhelming. That's a great combination. As I've gotten deeper into this one, there's also some kelp mixed in there, which gives it a nice texture. I didn't get that at first on my first bite, but there's some poking out here. This is excellent. This is worth the wait. So are you surprised how much you're enjoying this onigiri?
No,
really?
I expected it to be amazing because the lineup was really long out there, and apparently there's a lineup all the time. So, and people are lining up are not tourists, they're locals. So if locals are lining up, then it must be something that's a gem.
But you're not a huge onigiri fan, or you weren't until this trip.
That's true.
This trip converted you, yeah. We both saved our sweet onigiri for last, and that's the peanut miso combination. And this one was actually recommended to me by another YouTuber who recommended this place, and he said that peanut miso was like his favorite by far, and it blew him away. So let's give this a try.
The texture, the crunchy peanut, the salty miso, and the soft rice.
And the sweetness.
All the textures came together and made an amazing creation.
Yeah, it's kind of like a weird candied peanut variant. You know, like when you can get the covered peanuts from the bulk barn at home, and there's like caramel or whatever they put on the outside. It reminds me of that a little bit, and it's surprising that the peanuts are whole. I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting like chopped peanuts maybe, but the peanuts are whole, so that gives you a really interesting bite.
I think the peanuts are roasted too to add an extra layer of flavor. This is really good, but I think that the winner for me is that ridiculous premium onigiri I got. So it turned out that it was half roe, half fish eggs, and the other half is salmon, and they squished it together and made one salty, delicious treat.
My favorite's the beef. The beef and miso. But this is an amazing way to end the meal.
Yeah, this is a very close second.
So apparently we had no problems eating 3 massive onigiri, because I don't think there's going to be any left.
I know.
So let's finish up and get out and let somebody else sit in our seat.
I'm really amazed that something so simple, a rice ball and a bit of filling, could be so delicious.
Maybe it's not as simple as we think. There's a mastery to what she was doing there behind the counter, and the flavors and the textures of those rice balls really show that.
I think it was the quality of the ingredients too that really bumped it up a couple of notches. I am so full, which really never happens that much when we have meals in Japan. We notice that most people around us, they're locals, they usually got like 1 or 2 balls. We ate 3 balls each.
And 2 bowls of soup.
And 2 bowls of soup.
That's a pro tip for this place.
Yeah.
You can get free tea and free miso soup refills.
Yeah, so 2 cups of tea, 2 bowls of soup, and 3 balls each. Oh boy.
Yeah, I'm definitely feeling it, but I'm glad I tried all those flavors.
Yeah.
They were really good. Definitely check this place out, and shout out to Eric of the Kaidi and Eric YouTube channel for recommending this place to us. It was really good. A short distance along the shopping street, you'll find Tenso Shrine. And this is the shrine that we mentioned earlier that you should make an effort to come and check out, because the grounds are really tranquil and picturesque. It's sandwiched between 2 buildings on either side. There are train tracks on it behind it, and right in front is the shopping street. So it's really hard to miss. There's 2 ginkgo trees that have been here for 600 years. And they're considered sacred, which is why you find the Emma boards and wishes hung around their bases. And the shrine itself has been here for over 1,000. It's said that couples can come here for good luck, so Nicole and I are gonna get some good luck here. And there's the big hall that you'll notice as soon as you walk through its torii gate, and to the right of the big hall are 2 smaller shrines kind of within a garden, which is a really nice spot to take some pictures. So yeah, come here and explore the grounds. It doesn't take too long. You maybe need 20-30 minutes to just sort of look around a little bit and sit and take a deep breath and sort of recharge, and then get back out there on the shopping street. How are you enjoying your visit to this tranquil little shrine?
Of course I love this shrine. It's beautiful, but I think what's really unique about this shrine is that when you come in, they have a little exhibit of photos. And we said this shrine has been here for 1,000 years. And I know we've been to a lot of shrines, and you know that the history's been behind each shrine is probably pretty extensive, but when you see the photos and the shrine hasn't changed, so it's been they've had like many decades, and you see that the shrine hasn't changed, but all the people in front have changed, like from the style of the photography to what people are wearing, the hairstyles, and you just think about how all the people and the communities that have come and gone during the history of this shrine, it just really hits home.
Yeah, that's crazy. It's always neat to be able to see little hints, like you can, in ways that you can relate, or hints of the history of a place, because you don't necessarily feel that just from looking at the building.
No, you can see how everything's been built up around it. Now there's not skyscrapers,
but there's buildings on either
buildings.
side. I explained to them the sort of setting of the buildings on either side and the tracks at the back. So yeah, you can see how the city has enveloped this little shrine here that probably was sitting on its own for a long time.
Yeah, I think every shrine should have photos so that people can get a feel of like what's happened here in the past, because I think that really adds to the character of the shrine.
So I was telling them in my last clip that couples come here for good luck.
Ooh.
So maybe we're gonna get some good luck in our future. also a little shrine on the left side of the main building here on the grounds, and it's tucked away in a corner. It's so quiet and picturesque in this little corner here, and I can hear the train station sounds. We're so close to the train station that you can hear the little chimes that go off when the trains are coming and going, which is pretty cool. So we're done checking out the shrine area here. We're gonna go out to our next spot to show you. I've developed a habit that's probably not good for me, but I'm enjoying it, and it will be gone as soon as we get home, and that is a quick kombini visit after a meal. I'm usually craving something sweet, and that's why I run over to a convenience store to get something, but that peanut and miso onigiri kind of satisfied that sweet tooth in me post meals, but I was really craving a drink, so I decided to get something I haven't tried before that I'm sure is going to gross Nicole out, which makes it that much better. And this is a variant of the Kalpis soda I had the other day. And if you remember, Kalpis is sort of a fermented yogurt type drink, and this one is flavored with strawberry. So it's this really nice pale red color, which I'm sure Nicole is just going to turn her nose up at. I am excited to give this a try. Let's see what strawberry Kalpis. Oh, Kalpis. Do you understand what I'm saying? I'm not saying cow piss. I'm saying Kalpis. C-A-L-P-I-S. All right, here we go. I really like the plain Kalpis soda, so it's no surprise I like this as well. This reminds me exactly of like a strawberry yogurt. It tastes like a strawberry yogurt drink, which I guess kind of makes sense because that's kind of what makes up this Kalpis soda. Nicole, you want to give it a try?
Oh God, no.
It just started tasting that much better. Similar to yesterday's visit to Sugamo, you'll find a local shopping street catering to the needs of the locals. It's a great area to explore and get a glimpse of local life in a small neighborhood. The last thing you should come check out in this area, we said could only be seen here in this neighborhood, and that was a little bit of a fib because it's actually a tram.
Well, this tram line is really special because it's the last remaining tram line in all of Tokyo.
Yeah, they've all disappeared except for this last one they're keeping going. This is the Tokyo Sakura tram, and while it does run through various other neighborhoods, this is a very picturesque place to come see it because of the southern side of the Ōtsuka train station. If you follow the tram line, you'll come to a section that is lined with rose bushes.
It's incredible.
Yeah, it's crazy how many rose bushes they have. In the spring and the fall, it's supposed to be just spectacular with all the blooms. We're a little bit late for the fall season, but we're still seeing quite a few nice roses out. And when the trams go by, it's really neat to watch the old school kind of arms come down to block the people walking around.
Yeah.
And then the tram goes by and you get a mix of old style looking ones and kind of newish looking ones. So at least they're reinvesting in this. Maybe they'll keep it going for a while.
I hope so.
That concludes our quick little visit here to the Ōtsuka area. Had amazing lunch, got to see a really beautiful shrine, and check out the last remaining tram line here in Tokyo. So definitely worth a visit. It doesn't take too long, so if you come here, plan to also go to Sugamo, which is a short walk from here and also a really interesting neighborhood to explore. That video will be linked up here. So we're gonna go back to the train station, hop on the tram, and go home.
We successfully rode the tram. We wanted to share some footage with you, but we felt kind of bad because for us it was a tourist attraction, but for everybody else on the train it was their main mode of transportation.
Yeah, so we filmed a little bit on there, but we didn't get too much. But yeah, it was just a really nice tram ride. We got on a newer car. It wasn't one of the older style ones. And there's one coming by the station right now.
It's like a comfortable way to travel.
Yeah, it is. It was quick, it was direct, didn't take us very long. And it's funny because we've come full circle around from many days ago now when we actually walked past this station and saw the tram for the very first time and didn't realize what we were seeing.
No.
We did kind of feel like that was a novelty,
Yes.
because I don't think we realized that we hadn't seen trams around Tokyo before, and now it makes perfect sense why. So we're gonna head back home from here. In this direction is the cemetery we were at the other day when we first saw this tram. I'll link that video up here in case you want to check that out. Other direction is back home, and I think we've decided to eat out. Let's go find a restaurant for dinner. Oh my gosh, I'm so full.
Me too. Wow, that was one filling bowl of ramen.
Your broth was like super viscous. It was so thick and it tasted really good. Mine was a little thinner, but you can see like globlets of pork fat kind of floating in my broth. It was delicious.
I chose mine because it had they had different numbers or different rankings, and I just chose mine. It didn't matter what the ranking was. I always just wanted the richest broth possible.
Yeah, you saw rich and you're like, that's mine.
Yeah, it was. I think the broth beat me though, because I for once did not eat my way all the way to the bottom.
Yeah, you left a little bit. I didn't quite get all my broth, but I got all my bits. All my noodles and all that stuff is gone. They were very generous with the pork.
They were.
The pork slices were like really thick. Usually you get pretty thin slices of the pork in a ramen, but their pork was really good.
Their
fatty.
pork was the highlight.
Yeah, fatty, and the meat just fell apart when you bit it. The eggs were really good. It had a nice outer crunch, like the outer layer kind of had a thickness to it, and you got into the soft yolk. That was satisfying.
You know what was silly?
What?
It was, well, no, it's silly for me because I was really impressed with their seaweed.
Yeah.
Their seaweed, somehow they've imprinted welcome to the restaurant name,
Yeah.
and it was a
Mutekiya.
Yeah, it was cute.
Yeah, it was awesome. So yeah, you finally got their ramen.
What did you think overall of the meal?
I thought it was really good. I don't know if it was the best ramen
Yeah.
I've ever had in Japan. I think the ramen we had in Sapporo, video linked here, was better. But it was really good.
Yeah, because we didn't get to talk about it too much because we basically had to eat and get out. Real estate is a premium in there, and we didn't want to take up too much of their time.
And they were also playing music that would have just conflicted, that we would have got copyright issues with YouTube. So we just decided to run out and do this wrap up for you.
Yeah, so my takeaway from it is that it was very good. It was it was a delicious bowl of ramen, but yeah, definitely was not the best bowl of ramen I've had in Japan. And given the fact that this place is a Michelin guide, and the lineup for it is humongous, I think my expectations were maybe unrealistic.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I also thought it would have been a bit better given the lineups.
Yeah.
The Michelin thing was like, okay, but the lineups, just constant lineups. And just after we got there, the line started building, and when we came out, it was like, they have two lines. They have one right along the building, and once it gets to a point where it's going to block the next establishment, they have to continue on the other side. And they were almost at the point of having to continue on the other side of the street. So I don't know. It was good. I'm happy we went and had that for dinner tonight. But I don't think that's on my list of must do again.
Yeah, I noticed today we did 2 restaurants that had big lineups. One with the big lineup was like local people lining up. And this one I find that a lot of people who are lining up were people visiting from different places. Like I think the people behind us were from Hong Kong, and the people in front of us were visiting from China, and then I saw 4 other foreigners out there. So I think that they started to capitalize on their non-Japanese clientele.
Well, they've somehow became popular and are riding that.
Yes.
They're riding the Instagram wave, I guess you could say. But yeah, still a very good bowl of ramen.
No, I'm happy I went there.
Yeah. All right, let's get back home. I need to chill for a bit, and then the last night of work starts, and then tomorrow's vacation. Thanks so much for watching the video. We hope you enjoyed exploring the cute little Ōtsuka neighborhood with us. If you did, please don't forget to like the video. It really helps the channel grow. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button and the little notification bell so you don't miss any future episodes. We'll see you next week.